Hi guys, welcome to Sree Trading Buddies weekly forecast. Let's start by looking into the economic calendar. Right, this is one of the big things actually for traders, and I'm sure that most of you would have already known that. But I'm just trying to stress up this point because there were many a time where I did not look into the economic calendar and I didn't know why I was wigged out or there was a sudden spike and all of these kind of weird things that happen. Yes, the setup was there, but that was not the time because maybe there's a high impact news, President Trump speaks. And so always look into the economic calendar. It can help you uh, how to structure your trades, when to structure your trades, when to stay out of the market, because sometimes with these red news folder events, there's not much that we could do. Just leave that after 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on the prop firm rules. And even the prop firm rules are, I think, is a blessing in disguise, especially related to news, because you don't blow your account and then you can live for after the news fact, right? So anyway, let's start by looking into the economic calendar. I look at Forex Factory, 7 p.m. President Trump speaks. So that's an awesome way of starting the week. I love it. Then you have Monday where there's not much news in the morning, followed by JPY policy rate, monetary policy statement, and outlook report. Tuesday, of course, it is press conference, followed by it's a bank holiday for JPY, so that's interesting. And you got at 10 a.m. you got the consumer confidence. There's always this low impact news, but that should be fine. And at 9:30 p.m. you got Aussie dollar news CPI. And on Wednesday, that's the big banger. All day you got Euro news, and that's the medium news that we have, followed by CAD news at 9:45, monetary policy, rate statement, overnight rate, and press conference at 10:30. Then you got the big banger, which is at 2 p.m. You got the federal funds rate for USD, FOMC statement, and the press conference at 2:30. Now this is the beast. Remember, it's in the midweek, which means we might just get some range bound activity on Monday and Tuesday, but that's highly unlikely given that there was a shooting that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner where President Donald Trump was rushed off stage by the Secret Service after a gunman identified as 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen opened fire near a security checkpoint outside the ballroom. Of course, the president and the first lady were unharmed. Secret Service agents were shot but saved by a bullet vest during an exchange of gunfire with the suspect. He reportedly wrote a manifesto targeting administration officials and was tackled and taken into custody by law enforcement without being hit by gunfire. So that's a good sign. But given that, and Trump speaking at 7 p.m., it's going to be a crazy opening. Um, we got to see if that means market is trying to tend down, or maybe he will up the ante there and the market just goes shooting up. So it's going to be an interesting opening, and I'm all ears for what Trump has to say. Now, this is about Wednesday, 2:30, and that's the big banger. After which, there's not much to really worry about. And at 4 o'clock on Thursday, you got the German preliminary GDP, followed by at 5 a.m. you got all the Euro news, this core CPI flash estimates, and 7 o'clock you got the pound, Great Britain pound, you got the monetary policy summary and rate votes, official bank rate. 8:15 you got main refinancing rate, monetary policy statement. 8:30 a.m. EST you got the CAD GDP followed by advanced GDP USD, core PCE price index USD, and employment cost index USD. 8:45 a.m. you got the ECB press conference, and that's an interesting one. So that's all for Thursday. In the evening, you got some medium impact news for JPY, and that is it. At 10 o'clock on Friday, you got the ISM manufacturing PMI and the prices. So the big ticket item would be Wednesday, FOMC, of course, no doubt about that. And of course, there is this CAD news at 9:45 just before that. So those are the big ticket items. But for people who are doing Forex, you got the JPY, AUD, and the big guy here, GBP and Euro. So this week is going to be pretty interesting. So please keep an eye on all of these news events. I'll this is something that has to be taken into account, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who look into this, but I really wanted to give this a second look one more time and let you guys know that this week is a big banger. So just be careful, keep your accounts intact. Even if you don't trade, that's fine because you can always live to trade the next week. So enjoy, be careful, and this is all about the news. And I'll be back later once the market opens. Maybe that is when I'll try to do another forecasting video there and let you know how things are shaping up. Cheers and see you.